Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you from?
Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. Cleveland, Ohio is in the house. Stop playing with them. Okay. What's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal? I like work.
Yeah.
Starting anybody but Shedeur Sanders is dumb.
We are so close to football, man. I can taste it. In fact, as I'm recording this is Monday night. I was trying to find a reason not to record this, but we are on the eve of training camp. What we're going to see today are clips with the quarterbacks there, the rookies there, and Harold Fannin. I'm assuming he wanted to get some work in. But this, for all intents and purposes, is like pre-training camp. Tomorrow.
What happens when an entire professional sports franchise is completely held hostage by a massive, catastrophic contract, only for a deeply underestimated fifth-round draft pick to walk into the building and completely shatter the established hierarchy? We are currently witnessing an absolute, unprecedented power shift unfolding in Berea, Ohio, and the sheer magnitude of the cultural and athletic takeover being executed by Shedeur Sanders has the entire national media completely scrambling to rewrite their own narratives. For months, the sports establishment desperately tried to paint Sanders as a massive distraction, an entitled rookie, and a player incapable of winning a grueling NFL quarterback battle. But the absolute second the training camp film started rolling, the undeniable truth was completely exposed on the hardwood. You are locked into NFL Zone Talks, the absolute, undisputed authority on the raw, unvarnished truth behind the biggest positional battles, locker room politics, and front office power moves defining the league. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and let's dive directly into the absolute pressure cooker currently defining the Cleveland Browns. To truly comprehend the sheer, mind-numbing magnitude of what Shedeur Sanders is currently executing at the dawn of the 2026 training camp, you have to look directly at a seemingly simple, highly viral interaction that completely rewired his public perception. During a casual media walkthrough, Sanders was asked a basic question about his favorite meal. He didn't offer a polished, PR-approved answer about a fancy steakhouse. He looked directly into the camera, representing Cleveland, Ohio, and completely deadpanned, "I like work." That tiny, unfiltered moment sent an absolute shockwave through a fan base that has been utterly starved for genuine, blue-collar accountability from the quarterback position. It proved that Sanders is not here for the glitz, the glamour, or the massive endorsement deals. He is entirely consumed by the grueling, violent process of perfecting his craft. And that terrifying level of focus is actively forcing the biggest names in sports media to execute highly embarrassing, incredibly public apologies. But the story doesn't end there, because the dominoes within the national media are falling at an astonishing rate. For the past 2 years, prominent ESPN analyst Dan Orlovsky has been one of the most vocal, unrelenting critics of Shedeur Sanders' professional potential. Yet, the absolute second the 2026 training camp kicked off, Orlovsky experienced a complete, shocking 180-degree awakening. During a massive national broadcast, Orlovsky completely stopped pulling his punches and delivered a brutal, scorched-earth reality check to the Cleveland front office. He looked directly into the camera and explicitly stated, "Starting anybody but Shedeur Sanders is dumb." When one of your absolute biggest media haters is suddenly screaming from the rooftops that you must be named the immediate starter, you have undeniably proven that your talent on the practice field simply cannot be ignored. Orlovsky didn't just casually endorse Sanders. He aggressively dismantled the entire, decaying argument for keeping the veteran establishment in charge. The sheer, unadulterated absurdity of the Browns' current situation becomes overwhelmingly toxic when you analyze Orlovsky's brutal diagnosis of Deshaun Watson's tenure. Orlovsky aggressively pointed out the absolute catastrophic reality of Watson's physical and statistical decline. Over the past 6 agonizing years, Watson has managed to play in a grand total of exactly 19
Quarterbacks were bad. All the offense was bad. All the throwing offense was bad. And somehow Shedeur won the most games out of it. Oh, but I get it. The defense did it. Yeah. The defense did it. Shedeur did it without Harold Fannin, but the defense did it. Shedeur did it without Quinshon Judkins, but the defense did it, right? It's not adding up anymore, man. I need to hear the people who said that Shedeur was never going to make it. He wasn't going to do nothing. Most wins poised to be the QB1 in a battle with a
football games. Let that incredibly dark statistic completely sink into your brain. The man has been utterly decimated by catastrophic physical setbacks, including severe, highly invasive surgery on his throwing shoulder and a completely devastating Achilles tear. Orlovsky dropped the ultimate, undeniable truth bomb on the franchise. Playing Deshaun Watson does absolutely nothing for the future of the organization. Even in the highly unlikely, miraculous scenario where Watson manages to stay healthy and magically recaptures his old form, what is the actual endgame? Are the Browns genuinely prepared to hand another massive, fully guaranteed contract to a rapidly aging, historically injury-prone quarterback? The absolute, unquestionable answer is no. Therefore, every single snap handed to Watson during training camp is an active, deliberate waste of franchise time. And the absolute urgency of getting Sanders onto the field becomes undeniably clear when you look at the terrifying offensive weapons currently being unleashed on the practice field. The pre-training camp film has fully exposed a lethal, highly coordinated aerial assault that is completely unguardable. Every single time Sanders drops back to pass, he is actively hunting two specific numbers, 44 and 12. Number 44 is Harold Fannin Jr., the elite sophomore tight end who completely locked down a breakout campaign last year by ranking 4th among all NFL rookies in receiving yards. Fannin is an absolute matchup nightmare, a dynamic chess piece.
And it's something that no one's ever been able to, counter argue me about with Shedeur. One of the biggest things why you should want Shedeur to be your guy is that he loves Cleveland. Like, I don't think a lot of Browns players can say that they embrace Cleveland. And I can guarantee you a lot of Browns quarterbacks have never embraced Cleveland the way Shedeur seemingly does. He's made out to be a villain and told, the Browns media is telling the normal Browns fan to look at Shedeur as a distraction, as a problem, as a this, as a that. But the average Browns fan, when they see his interaction, they see somebody who's not just humble, but is excited to, want to do great things for this Brown team, always positive, always smiling, and always shining too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't.
Who effortlessly attacks the seams and absolutely bullies linebackers in the red zone. But what makes this offense truly terrifying in 2026 is the addition of rookie wideout Denzel Boston wearing number 12. Boston is an absolute contested catch monster, and the immediate, highly visible chemistry he is building with Sanders is sending a massive warning shot to the rest of the AFC North. When you pair a highly accurate, intensely poised young quarterback with an unguardable tight end and a hyper-athletic rookie receiver, you possess the ultimate offensive cheat code. But whenever a young, highly explosive quarterback threatens to completely upend the established hierarchy, the media machine inevitably attempts to manufacture toxic drama to slow the momentum. Over the past week, a highly coordinated, entirely fabricated narrative began circulating across social media, desperately trying to suggest that there was a massive civil war erupting within the Browns' receiver room. Doctored photos and entirely fake soundbites were weaponized to imply that veteran receiver Jerry Jeudy was actively choosing sides and attempting to divide the locker room against Sanders. It was a completely pathetic, deeply manipulative attempt by the old guard to create a massive distraction. But the actual locker room completely ignored the noise. The true alpha players inside that building are not interested in fake internet gossip. They are entirely focused on who can actually deliver the football on 3rd and long with the game on the line. And right now, every single pair of eyes in that huddle is completely locked onto Shedeur Sanders. This desperate media manipulation is simply the latest chapter in a long, highly documented history of moving the goalposts. We absolutely must execute a massive receipt check on the national analysts who are suddenly pretending they believed in Sanders all along. Let's rewind the tape to the 2025 NFL Draft. When Sanders shockingly fell to the 5th round, selected 144th overall by Cleveland, the establishment media was absolutely brutal. They looked directly into the cameras and confidently declared that he would never even make the active 53-man roster. When he successfully made the team, they immediately shifted the narrative, loudly claiming he would never see a single snap of regular season action. And when catastrophic injuries forced him onto the field during his rookie campaign, they swore he was incapable of winning a professional football game. Yet, against all mathematical odds, Sanders stepped into a completely broken, highly dysfunctional offensive system and dragged the franchise to vital victories. The defense played elite football, but Sanders provided the absolute essential composure required to navigate the chaos. Every single limitation they attempted to place on him has been violently shattered. This incredible history of overcoming institutional doubt is exactly what fuels the massive, completely unstoppable psychological connection between Sanders and the city of Cleveland. A recent deep dive article from local media brilliantly attempted to analyze the Shedeur phenomenon, and the findings were absolutely fascinating. Sanders occupies a completely paradoxical, highly unique space in the athletic world. On one hand, he possesses a massive parasocial inheritance from his legendary Hall of Fame father, carrying a commercial brand characterized by intense swagger and elite marketability. But on the other hand, because of his fifth-round draft status and the relentless media criticism he endures, he is simultaneously viewed as the ultimate gritty underdog. He is a folk hero who completely understands what it means to be heavily doubted, entirely overlooked, and forced to fight for absolutely everything he has. That specific, undeniable grit is exactly what resonates with the blue-collar, hard-working fan base in Cleveland. They don't want to
go viral on social media, but for a lot of positive reasons, right? I feel like he always goes viral for negative reasons, or at least the media tries to make him go viral for negative reasons. This week he did a little I forgot who it is, but you walk you through the outfit. I like those videos are cool. And he was like, "Where you from?" "I'm from Cleveland, baby." He said, "What you like to eat?" "I like to eat work." You know what I'm saying? That's all I do. I eat, sleep, and breathe work. You know what I'm saying? So I think he made a lot more fans there. And I think a lot of Cleveland people understand that, look, man, it's something that we've been saying a lot. Shedeur wants to embrace this city. He wants the best for it. And he wants to
highly pampered, heavily protected corporate quarterback. They want a relentless fighter who proudly declares that his favorite meal is putting in the work. And the strategic necessity of officially naming him the starting quarterback goes far beyond simply appeasing the incredibly passionate fan base. It is a massive, multi-billion-dollar front office requirement. As heavily respected NFL analysts have accurately pointed out, the Cleveland Browns are actively in the deeply complicated process of building a massive, state-of-the-art new stadium. The harsh, undeniable reality of the National Football League is that you simply cannot successfully open a multi-billion-dollar architectural marvel without a highly marketable, elite young franchise quarterback to serve as the definitive face of the brand. You cannot sell premium luxury suites and secure massive long-term sponsorships if your team is constantly held hostage by an aging, severely injured veteran operating on a week-to-week basis. The Browns simply do not matter on the massive national stage until they officially, permanently secure the most important position in all of professional sports. We are officially standing at an absolute, undeniable precipice for the Cleveland Browns organization. The era of blindly protecting massive, catastrophic contracts and nursing bruised veteran egos is completely over. The national media finally understands the assignment, the incredibly loyal fan base understands the assignment, and the elite offensive weapons currently dominating the practice field absolutely understand the assignment. You have to play the young quarterback. If head coach Todd Monken and the front office truly want to maximize the incredible, highly explosive talent currently sitting on this roster, they must immediately stop wasting vital, irreplaceable training camp repetitions on a fading veteran and officially hand the definitive keys of the franchise to Shedeur Sanders. I want to hear your absolute raw, unfiltered thoughts down in the comments below. Do you agree with Dan Orlov's guy that starting Deshaun Watson is completely dumb? And how many regular season games do you believe the front office will actually waste before making the massive transition entirely official? Drop your absolute best, most aggressive takes below, and I will see you all in the very next deep dive.